has been 1 week since Paradox Junction released, and we want to compare Paradox Junction, the Black Ops 7 remake version of Nuketown Zombies, to Alpha Omega, the Black Ops 4 version of that same exact concept.
Oh shit.
We're gonna go through each map individually, compare them, and tell you which one I like and for what better reason. I did this with Asher Malorm and Ash the Dam, and you guys seem to love it. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, man. If you guys do enjoy, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But with that being said, let's get into it. So let's start off with Alpha Omega. So what does Alpha Omega do really well? Well, the map came out in 2019, and we actually saw a huge resurgence in Zombies viewership and in Zombies general interest when the map released, because after this launch of Black Ops 4 and how honestly chaotic and hectic the launch was, we got Dead of the Night, which flopped after 1 week because of its inability to market itself. They wanted to make the map a map that has like a surprise drop, but everyone knew about it. Everyone already saw all the leaked trailers and everything, so there wasn't no real surprise. With the celebrity cast, the map wasn't received very well, and although Ancient Evil was received amazingly, it was really to a hardcore set of community that was really just hardcore set on the Chaos story. But then once Alpha Omega came back, it was the return of the Ether story, and everyone was in. Everyone was in about the Ether story. No one gave a fuck that it was Nuketown. No one gave a fuck that it's going to be anything crazy. Like, we knew that what we were getting was a remastered map, yet everyone was so excited about it because it's Nuketown, and we're going to get Ether Zombies back. And we wanted Ether Zombies. We've been begging for Ether Zombies, so then we get it. What I think Alpha Omega does than any other Zombies map in the history of Call of Duty Zombies, you said that, you heard me say that, is the radios. I think the greatest radios of all time are Mob of the Dead, Blood of the Dead, and Alpha Omega. Alpha Omega's radios are absolutely sensational and are super important by learning the background of the Element 115 research system of the United States of America, also known as Groom Lake, which is the site also known as Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow was first introduced in Black Ops 2 with Transit, and we saw it introduced in other maps as well. But in Alpha Omega really was the map to expand, learning the true identity and the true intentions behind Peter McCain, behind Purnell, behind the original of Tank Dempsey, Smokey, and that original crew that went to Verrucht, and so much amazing things to learn as well. What they were experimenting on, why things came to be, what the American pyramid device was, the APD, compared it to the moon pyramid device on the moon, and what we saw with that. So many amazing things. Also, Alpha Omega is the first ever Zombies map to have 8 playable characters, which I know we get in every single Cold War or Black Ops 7 Zombies map, but we didn't have that in the past. And the conversations and the quotes of Alpha Omega are much more fleshed out and way better accentuated in that map than the 8 character quotes we see in the current form of Zombies. In terms of storyline, it's absolutely sensational. An intro cutscene that, sure, complaint about the art style is shocking. The death of Dr. Max is for real this time in Alpha Omega's intro by Dr. Monty, really painting him as a villain rather than in Black Ops 3 where he's a villain, but you can kind of sympathize with him trying to make things work with the Shadow Man. But in Black Ops 4, he really turns that villain role, especially with the radios that are set, it not just in Alpha Omega, but also in Blood of the Dead as well. We hear more about Samantha and Eddie and why Nikolai has his soul, and he is the one that needs to read the Chronogram because he will make the ultimate sacrifice that Rick Toffin never could. It's an absolutely amazing, gut-wrenching filled story, and that's what Alpha Omega does best. But what else does it do really well? Well, 4 unique Ray Gun Mark IIs, which are the most unique variants of the Ray Gun Mark IIs I've ever seen. Better than the Shattered Veil ones, I think they're super unique. I've never been a guy that liked remastered water weapons, but this map did it well because the Ray Gun Mark II, in my opinion, was always kind of very centric towards the Victus crew. We see the Victus crew return here in Alpha Omega, so it makes sense for that Ray Gun Mark II to return, but they didn't just do that. They had 4 unique water weapons as well. The Ray Gun Mark X, Y, Z, and W, I think it is. And we have amazing ones. We have a dual-wield ray gun. We have a shotgun ray gun. We have a beam ray gun. And just a fire ray gun. And just so many amazing things. And sure, they might not be the best water weapons of all time, but they're super unique and they are better than the Sundergads. There is also amazing things with Alpha Omega as well when it comes to the Easter egg. I'm a big fan. I think Rushmore, super fun, unique character, a real patriot that I love. You know, love name Rushmore for the US of A. Salute to service. And I love things like the Nova Crawler step, where you have that red decoy Nova Crawler that you have to take. I love the code step. I love the clock step. The house clock step is one of my favorite steps of all time. And sure, it's cheese. I love the round 100 strategy with the knife and through a razor on top of that yellow house, man. It's cheese, but I'm a big fan of it. But that's Alpha Omega, right? Things that I love. But what I hate about Alpha Omega, well, number one is the Nova Crawlers and also how the Pack-a-Punch goes off. The Nova Crawlers sucks, right? The Nova Bombers, the Electrical Crawlers, they suck. They've never been good, whether it's in Killer Toten, whether it's the teleporting Nova Crawlers at Moon. The Jumping Jacks are okay in Die Rise because they don't spawn during the round. They have their own dedicated round. But I swear to God, the Nova Crawlers on this map are like tenfold terrible. The Bombers are annoying. The Electrical ones are annoying. And you have so many more things that are absolutely horrible. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen. You also have the Pack-a-Punch thing that I just mentioned. Whereas you complete Pack-a-Punch, and then like around 20, these sewers that you do Pack-a-Punch start not working. And it's like, are we fucking serious? Why the fuck is it not working? It's very, very annoying. It is one of the most tedious, annoying, like inconvenient things that just don't need to be involved in a zombies map ever. Like once you open a Pack-a-Punch, why can't it just be open? Why do I gotta go through fucking steps, hurdles to get back through, right? It's very annoying. I'm not a big fan of it. Another thing about Alpha Omega as well, it's unique location. I know these two are maps, so, you know, we won't really be talking about location much, but still gotta point it out. And also, think about Alpha Omega, it's just fucking ugly. I mean, I know that it gets better when you turn the power on, but it's one of the ugliest piss-looking maps ever. It's so fucking ugly. The bunker's ugly, the top is ugly, the skybox is ugly. It's all just ugly. I feel like I'm playing in just Shitsville. Ugly as hell. So that's Alpha Omega. It's got some ups, it's got some downs, but we got some opinions on it. Junction is also got some great and some bad features. With Paradox Junction, it's got a better Easter egg and a better boss fight. I really think it is super fun. I don't mind the Avogadro fight. I think it's kind of fun, but it does have a better Easter egg. I mean, the steps are much better, much more conclusive, much more making sense. And the boss fight as well, much better boss fight. I like the arena that it's just the regular Nuketown, but with a couple like obstacles taken out of the way and you can't go in the houses. I like that arena, very nice. So it's a boss fight with the arena that's a little bit different. I will say it's a much prettier looking map. Sure, the past version of Paradox Junction is also very bland and boring, a little ugly looking, but the post Nuketown, the skybox is amazing. I mean, it's an amazing skybox. I would put the skybox, I wouldn't say it's like Origins level amazing or Revelations level amazing, but it is really, really good. I think it is a really, really good skybox and significantly better than Alpha Omega, but it's only half the map, so take that as you will. All of Alpha Omega is uglier than all of Paradox, but the one half of Paradox is about the same as ugly, so just the post-nuked version is significantly better. But what else about Paradox Junction do I really like? Well, I actually like the Red Hounds. A lot of people dislike them, that they're too fast. I think kind of fucking love them. I think they're sporadic, and I think it's super fun. There's a lot of things about Paradox Junction that's just better because the mechanics of Black Ops 7 is better than Black Ops 4. So it's hard for me to sit here and be like, I like the perks more and how they rotate. I like this, that, and the other thing more because this is just a BO7 system that Black Ops 4 Zombies just didn't have. It's really hard to rank it. I'm just trying to rank it off maps. I will say Alpha Omega has more unique locations, a much better area. Paradox Junction doesn't have that much area. But what Paradox Junction has that Alpha Omega doesn't is the worst mechanic maybe since fucking Black Ops 4 in general, which is the portal mechanic in Paradox Junction, which is absolutely terrible, a terrible mechanic. The shock mimics suck, even though they don't spawn very often, so I'm not a huge problem with it. But they still do suck. And I do also think that this map really struggles to find an identity. There's a lot of problems with this map. Sure, I think it's got a better intro and outro cutscene, but there's a lot of problems with this map where it just struggles to find a reason of why. It's got an interesting story at cases, but I think the strengths of this map, the story, the radios, are just outstrengthened by Alpha Omega. The Wonder Weapon is better in Alpha Omega. I'll give this map the Easter egg in the boss fight. The layout is better in Alpha Omega. The look of this map post-nuke is much better than Alpha Omega. So you have two maps that kind of very, very weirdly kind of go at each other. But why I think that at the end of this video, as we kind of get into the end here, you guys have seen me rant about Paradox Junction for 40 minutes at this point and talk about the things I like and dislike. I love the Easter egg. I think it's got a lot of uniqueness to it. I really like the kids' games. I love the involvement of the twins, but it's got a great intro cutscene and then involves Ava Jensen 0 times in the actual map. It's got a very interesting dialogues between characters, but it's got a really bad Wonder Weapon. The Thundergat sucks, and so there's a lot of things that Paradox Junction I feel is more controversial than Alpha Omega. And with that being said, I think I'm okay to give my opinion. Sure, Paradox Junction I think is a better look at Skybox and a better Easter egg. But Alpha Omega is just more fun to play. You jump in, it's got much better Wonder Weapons, much better map flow, it's got a much better story to it, much better radios, much better dialogue, and I think it is a little bit better. So in comparing Alpha Omega to Paradox Junction, which one is better? Ladies and gentlemen, my pick is Alpha Omega. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Got more content coming out very soon, so we'll let you guys know what you think. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. You guys have a good one.
Hold on, this guy just said, wait, your dad was a child prodigy of the skin flu? So let me tell you something right now. With all due respect, I know you're trying to be witty and funny and everything. If I actually met you, I'd hit you with a fucking left hook and knock you out.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.